is Papa Shango. And you are listening to Icopod. Beware of Papa Shango. Beware of voodoo. And definitely beware of Icopod.
And we're back with episode 89 of Icopod. I'm Bob Conley Jr. And with me, as always, is Austin Skinner. Yes, Sarah is still here on the couch, now putting her phone together, still not paying attention. Austin, how's it over in Orlando?
I have breaking news for you.
Oh, breaking news. Okay.
So everybody's been on the journey with me since I started my weight loss exploration through MyFitnessPal app. I've sworn by it. I've put it over big time. Recently, I thought it kind of bizarre that, I'm down roughly 65 pounds and my calorie count has not changed. Usually when you lose 10, 20 pounds, your calorie count for the day that you're allotted usually tends to just go down because you don't weigh as much. So I never really put too much thought into it until the last 2 weeks. I've kind of leveled off. Like I haven't lost any weight. I haven't gained any weight. I'm just kind of sustaining. So for the heck of it, I replugged in my information. It was all correct, but I just cleared it out and did it again. Come to find out, my current calorie count is roughly 400 less than I've been eating for who knows how long. So that's why I've leveled off.
So it did adjust and you never knew it?
No, it didn't adjust until I went in and replugged in the information.
Oh, okay.
Which is very bizarre. Because I would think that would have just updated as I went.
Like naturally it happened.
Yeah. So I update it. And a few days later, I've already lost 4 pounds again. So it's like, how long have I supposed to have been eating this much less calories?
Right.
Because obviously I leveled off for 2 weeks. So it must have been at least probably a month, if not 2, where I should have been eating this many calories. But because my app didn't update, I haven't been. So that's stupid. I've hit a little snafu with the MyFitnessPal app. So people, if you're out there using it, update your shit if you've lost weight because it's probably thrown off. With that said, originally when I set my goal in February, I set my goal a pound a week. I was 270 and I wanted to weigh 200 pounds by October. I am currently sitting at 204 and it is mid-September. I will be reaching that goal, which is insane to think about, losing 70 pounds without really doing much of anything at all.
Other than controlling your eating.
Controlling your eating and eating proportionately, Yeah. With that said, I do plan on continuing. I would like to ideally weigh 180 pounds, especially because I am 5'7", so relatively on the shorter end of the spectrum. And then once I kind of get there, I'd like to just sustain. I'd like to stay under that 200-pound mark, whatever that means. I think if I lost any more weight than 100, dropping down to 180, which is almost a 100-pound weight difference, I would start to look kind of scrawny, sunken in, and I'm not into that look.
Yeah.
So as long as I still got a little bit of a build on me, I'm cool with it. But again, that's still roughly 20 to 30 pounds away. So we'll see how it goes. That's kind of where I'm at with it. It's been very bizarre because I've never worn a size large t-shirt ever that I can remember. And that's where I'm at with it. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited that I have to basically buy a whole new wardrobe But yeah, they kind of bamboozled me with the whole calorie count thing. It's much tougher though, I'll tell you that, because really 400 calories is like one less meal. So that kind of sucks.
Yeah. I was just thinking, yeah. That's like me not having Subway for the day.
Or whatever. Yeah. So that kind of sucks. It has been a little bit of an adjustment because I'm running out of calories way quicker. So that'll be a learning curve, but it's almost like a nice refresher. I've kind of coasted for a little while. Just
I was gonna say it's like a new challenge.
Yeah, because it's been so easy. I've had no problem doing the 2200 that I had. So I don't know. I think this is kind of gonna motivate me to get to the finish line here, and we'll see what happens. So,
well, again, I've said it before. I think it's just really impressive that you've been able to lose so much weight. It's been really impressive for me to not keep up with the MyFitnessPal because I just give up.
Yeah,
because I enjoy eating, and I'm also 6'4", so me weighing like 255 isn't as maybe off-putting. Obviously, Sarah doesn't mind that I weigh 255 pounds. Well, she just rolled her eyes, so maybe she doesn't care. Fuck, I gotta go re-download my MyFitnessPal.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I was like maybe your height and I was weighing 250, I would
270.
270, or in your case, yeah. I have another story to go on that I didn't mention last week. Today, Sarah and I went to a store called Larger Than Life over at Great Northern Mall.
Oof.
Which Austin would know what Great Northern Mall is. Maybe not anybody else.
Yeah, it's a dying horse. It's
it's basically an abandoned mall.
Yeah.
Anytime you go into a mall and you can hear the echo of your voice, it's pretty alarming. So there was like nobody in there. So, well, we were walking by it, and I look to my left into the store, and then I was just gonna keep on walking, and then Sarah was like, "You want to go in?" And I was like, "Okay." And she's like, "Well, I mean, it's a nerdy store, so I just kind of figured."
Whoa.
And I was like, "Oh, wow, all right, well, thanks." But then, maybe people listening would be like, "Ooh, wow, that was a mean thing to say." Yeah, maybe it was mean. Yeah, it's okay. No, it's fine. You're not defending yourself. It's fine.
It's like a comic store, right?
Yeah, but that's what I thought. I thought it was comic book, so I wouldn't really care. Well, It turns out I maybe take 4 steps in my eyes see this big Hulk Hogan action figure in glass, and I'm like, oh boy, I'm in trouble. And I look in there, and it's like him and like Goldust, having a figure, and it's like signed or whatever. And I'm thinking that's it, right? Maybe it's like a little display, not a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, I then look to my right, and there's an entire wall of wrestling figures.
Oh,
and I'm like,
no.
Motherfucker, no. And I'm not talking about the figures you get at Walmart for like $9. I'm talking about like the really good ones. They have like the belts and like, yeah. So like, I'm like, holy shit. And I go in there, there's like a Tatanka, right? I'm like, fuck, man. Like, no. There's a Repo Man.
Ooh.
I'm like, there's an Eddie Guerrero with an LWO shirt and the cruiserweight belt. I'm like, please have these be like $30.
Fuck.
I would have no problem paying, that amount for it. And I'm looking at the prices like $74.99.
Oh,
fucking $49.99. I'm like, who the hell is paying $75 for a Repo Man action figure?
What?
There's no way, right? No. So I'm like, I can't do it. I can't buy any of these. So Sarah, being the wonderful girlfriend that she is, she's like, babe, Christmas is coming up. Maybe you should make a list for me. And I was like, oh no, you don't understand. This could potentially be pages. And she's like, well, there's not just Christmas, there's birthdays, there's anniversaries, and whatever else. And I'm just like, that's a really fair point. So I proceeded to make a list, right? And I'm thinking, I only listen. It's not that bad. I only put like a couple on there that I would truly want. You know what I mean? Like not ones that I would be like, oh, it'd be nice to have. The ones that I really would want to have.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think I'm done, right? We walk around. I almost kick a real life dog on the ground. I didn't even realize it was a real dog. It was. Almost freaking punted him on accident. And then I'm looking at a wall of like games or whatever. They have like old school games. I'm like, I don't need any more of them, but I was just like looking at them.
Yeah.
And then, we're making rounds. We're about to leave to go to the Hallmark store. And I look to my fucking left and I go, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And Sarah's like, what? I'm like, there's more fucking wrestling figures over here. And it's like the 3-packs. It's like super, like rather rare ones. I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. It even has a sign like, please do not touch, ask for assistance. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Right? So there's like a Ron Simmons, like WCW one with the belt, which is like super like awesome.
Yeah.
An Atom Bomb. Like,
Atom Bomb?
Yeah, dude. There was a bunch of them. And like, I saw the prices on the wall. Guess how much an Atom Bomb action figure cost there?
Well, you got to think he's probably rare, right? He's one of the. It was like one of the good figures.
It's called like Wrestling Superstar or whatever.
Okay.
Like that brand.
I would say $50.
Okay, if it was $50, it would be in my house right now.
Oh boy.
Like it would. Like I would have gotten an Atom Bomb and Ron Simmons. I would have paid $100 and been like, it's on my fucking bookcase right now.
Yeah. Okay.
So here's the thing. It's not on my bookcase. So it was not $50. I'll just tell you. Each figure on that goddamn wall was at least $100 each.
Get the fuck out of here.
I swear to God.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I was like, there's no way. So I'm like looking at him. I'm like super bummed about it. And then Sarah, being, pretty reasonable, she's like, well, she didn't say this verbatim, but like I, in my head was thinking this as well. But it's like, number one, who the fuck is going into Great Northern Mall? Okay. Let alone into larger than life. Number two, who's going to buy these at any point in the near future at that amount of thing? And I'm like, you're absolutely right.
Right.
So I walked out of that store with nothing, which for me is a miracle. Like, to me, to walk out of that kind of situation with nothing in my hands.
I would have talked you into probably at least 2 of the cheaper action figures. And by cheaper, I mean like the $50 ones. I would have talked you into 2 of them.
Yeah, there was a Chris Benoit Ruthless Aggression one for $29.99, or I think it was. And that was one I might have gotten.
I think I would have been able to talk you into him and the LWO Eddie Guerrero.
That would have been like $70. Yeah, I probably could have. Yeah, like total. He was like, I think Benoit was like 30. It was either 29 or 30. I want to say it was 30. And then Eddie was $49.99.
Yeah, I think I could have talked you into that package deal.
You probably could have. So I'm really glad that you weren't there.
Right.
So I didn't get suckered.
Because I'd want the Eddie Guerrero, so I'd make you buy it. So at least like somebody that I know has it. And I didn't spend the money. You did.
Right. Yeah. Well, of course. And the thing with that figure, it was a WWE shop exclusive.
Oh.
So it's like even maybe borderline a rarer one. I don't know how many people would necessarily have it, but
okay.
Oh boy, walking out of that store with nothing, I was like, oh boy, did not feel normal at all.
I really regret missing the boat on like the defining moments Macho Man figures.
There was a couple of those in there, yeah.
Yeah, because like those are fucking awesome, and like I don't own any of them.
Yeah.
But I know they have like the WrestleMania 3 one with the robe, and they have the WrestleMania 9 one with the jacket and all that stuff. So
yeah, the WrestleMania 3 one was there.
Yeah.
Defining moment. My favorite Macho Man is the WrestleMania 8, which I have.
Oh yeah.
I tend to take my guys out of the box, just to stand them up and have more room. There's a few that like the Hollywood Blondes I still have in the box, and the triple pack with Flair, Perfect, and Heenan I still have in the box, stuff like that. But the WrestleMania 8 Savage figure is one of my favorites, and also his WCW 99 figure.
Yeah,
is one of my favorite ones too. So and my narcissist Lex Luger.
Oh, I didn't know you had him.
Yeah, I do have a narcissist Lex Luger.
Okay.
But
so yes, I'm very proud of you, Bob. Good job.
Dude, I easily, not even kidding you, without a shadow of a doubt, could have dropped $500 to $600 in that store.
Oh, that hurts my heart.
Like there's no doubt in my mind. Just like the Simmons Atom Bomb, that's $200 right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's only on 2 figures. Like get me the fuck out of here.
Those are pieces of plastic that you would have paid that money for.
100%.
That's insanity.
Yeah. And I wouldn't play with them. I would just have them on a fucking bookcase looking at them.
No, yeah. Although, man, I gotta tell you, I feel like we saw an Atom Bomb at Gizmos. I feel like they had an Atom Bomb.
Yeah, but it wasn't the same one.
Okay.
It might have been.
I don't remember it being $100 fucking.
No, it was probably a Hasbro one.
Yeah.
This one was like the more modern, like I said, like wrestling superstar one. And I Googled, I went on like eBay and stuff and Amazon, and the ones that I could find, they were all asking for $99.
I'm going to go look right now.
So it was like, I guess, a reasonable price, but it's just like, I can't.
Well, the one you're looking at, it's a Mattel, right?
I don't know.
It's got to be.
It might have been Jack's.
Like the good. Oh, okay. Atom Bomb figure. But it's like the good one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we don't want lowest to highest. We want highest to lowest. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we got a Jack Pacific Classic Series, Classic Superstars.
Yeah.
Was he in like a red top?
I think it was like his red and black gear.
Yeah, so like this.
Yep.
Yeah, they have this listed, folks, at $129.99.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah, that's
shit.
definitely the. That's definitely the.
Yeah, they're all expensive.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, I still would have been pretty tempted too, so I don't blame you there. Although I gave up my figure collecting quite a long time ago.
Well, here's my thing. I'm not even really a collector. I just grab the ones like of the guys
that you
I
like. Yeah. That's how I kind of was, but first of all, not to continue this rant too much longer, I collect way too many things. As in, I collect comic books. I collect just way too much shit. So, like, I'm done collecting for now. I'm trying to be better about it because really, my apartment's small and I don't have the fucking room. So that plays a part into it too.
Yeah, my main thing is I collect wrestling footage and also wrestling magazines. And recently, with my magazines, I organize them by publication and then by decade and by month.
So you're a nerd, basically.
Yeah, that was a very boring night.
Yeah.
For me, Sarah fell asleep in the chair, probably about 30 minutes into my, my journey through that.
Yeah.
Oh, she heard me. Fuck. She had said that she was going to help me, and then I asked, after I was done, I was jokingly like, "Hey, remember when you said you were going to help me?" And then she goes, "Well, I was going to, but then I had no idea what the fuck you were doing." Well, they all look the same.
Yeah.
I don't know how you tell them apart.
Yeah.
So I figured just leave you to your own devices and I'll just do my own thing. And I was like, you know what? I totally get it because
that's fair.
They do like the Rustler and Inside Wrestling pretty much look the fucking same. And like then you have Pro Wrestling Illustrated, it's just like whatever. So she would just like look through whatever kind of, I guess, looked intriguing to her, and then kind of we'd laugh about it. So
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. It makes my magazine rack here look like it has much more room than it does, and that just makes me want to buy more magazines.
I guess you'll have to.
I guess I'm gonna have to do that.
Yep.
And I will feel no shame about it. That's what credit cards are for. I got to open a new one and then go right back to larger than life.
I got to talk about this.
Oh, let's talk about credit cards.
This is breaking news. I'm an idiot.
Oh boy.
And got a new credit card. And not just any credit card, folks.
Oh, man.
I am the proud owner of the Apple credit card.
And what's an Apple credit card?
It's brand new. It's a brand new thing. Apple has released a credit card. And I fucking got it.
I don't understand. So it's like just a regular credit card, but through Apple?
Yeah. It's fucking cool. And that's why I got it, because it's fucking cool.
What's your is there no APR for how long?
I don't know for how long.
You need to find out that type of information.
But the APR is 17.9% for me.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not bad. Because usually, what is it, like 25?
Yeah, anywhere between like 24 to 29.
Yeah. Plus, it's a titanium card, so it's heavy as fuck. So I love it. It's going to be
Oh.
my go-to card. And it's got a balance, or it's got a limit of $4,000, so I'm good.
See, that's the thing. I definitely need a. Well, here's the thing. I don't mean to not go into the show that we normally do here, but since we're talking about credit cards, and Sarah just literally went like, "Oh boy." I've been freaking out because I have a substantial amount on my credit card. And by substantial amount, I mean a substantial amount to me. To normal people, it's probably nothing.
How much?
Close to 2,800.
Okay, not as bad as mine. I'm at 19, and that freaks me out.
Well, you're at 1,900.
1,900.
Yeah, I'm at 2,800.
Yeah, so 2,800.
Yeah, that is more than yours.
Yeah, but not substantially more.
Oh, okay. So my thing is, I need to pay off by January for no APR,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I don't want to fucking deal with that.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with that.
Yeah. So I've been like borderline stressing about it to a point where she probably wants to hit me over the head with a frying pan. That
Okay.
I have more than enough time to do it. Like I know I can do it. I will
Yeah.
do it. The
Yeah.
fact is, I just want to do it,
Right.
and I can't wait to do it.
Right.
But that's what I'm freaking out about. So once I pay that off, I'm gonna have to get a new card for holidays, and for my eventual trip to Larger Than Life, and then pay that off after that. But yeah, credit cards are a great thing until you have to pay it back.
Yeah, and I've always been I've actually gone overboard a lot of the time and tend to pay too much towards my credit card, where I leave myself short to take care of the actual bills sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I do, man. I'll like, oh, pay off here's $400, and you're like, oh
Yes.
shit, I don't have a lot of money right now.
Yes. So
Right,
I'm very bad when it comes to that because I'm very compulsive. Like I want to take
Yes.
care of that shit.
Exactly.
So I guess that's maybe a good problem to have, but not always.
No.
Well,
Well,
and
because she'll be like, you don't want to, you can pay it off, but like, don't miss out on things.
right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
maybe that means I should have gone and bought Adam Bomb. I don't know. Maybe I should have got to Tonka tonight. I don't know.
Well, regardless, I'm in the same boat as you. We'll get it done, Bob. Don't worry. We will
I'm
get
not
it
worried
done.
at all. I just want to do it. My goal is by the end of October. Wipe it all off. Save
And
up
then
some
you just
cash,
get an Apple card like me.
and just get a huge titanium Apple Card like you, and then be great. I'll put it in my back pocket. That way my butt gets more firm.
Yeah. So it looks bigger.
That'd be
Yeah.
good. All right. That's enough with our daily lives and daily struggles. Nobody's probably even here for any.
Half an hour in.
Yeah, it's fine. Let's get right into our observer notes. Brian Armstrong, who would be known as, oh, you didn't know, Road Dogg. He worked a TV taping recently, and Dave Meltzer reports that he did not get over with the crowd whatsoever. So it would appear that Brian Armstrong is not headed to the WWF. There are rumors going around that Ravishing Rick Rude is going to be coming in with Tammy Fitch as his manager. However, everyone contacted who should know anything about this story is saying that there's nothing to it and that it is false.
Yeah.
Which would make sense because Rick Rude just had what ended up to being a career-ending back injury.
Right.
But I got to tell you, Rick Rude with Tammy Fitch in 1994, sign me the fuck up right now.
Yeah.
Because that would have been insane. Have him win the 1995 Royal Rumble, and let's go in WrestleMania 11 and have some fun. That I think would have been a great pairing.
I agree. At first, it sounds like, really? But then when you think about it, they're kind of like the perfect package.
100, yeah.
So, yeah, I would have been super, super into that.
Raw on August 15th, which was last week, which featured Owen and 123 Kid, got a 2.9 rating. Wish I could say I was surprised, but arguably a pretty weak show. Nothing really going on for the most part.
Yeah, we've kind of flatlined because that was the week before's rating, too.
Yeah, we've kind of stayed below 3.0. As mentioned last week, Virgil was legitimately injured on August 14th in Massachusetts, and he was taken to an ambulance, or taken to the hospital via ambulance. And I believe that will be, I don't think we get, I think I've said it before, and I ended up being wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Virgil in the WWF is no longer a thing after this. We don't see him the rest of the year. And I don't recall seeing him in 95 or 96 or any time before he goes to WCW. So I think.
Well, he starts DX in 97.
Yeah, but that's like a one-off.
Right.
And he gets replaced.
Right.
He's the one that dropped the leg on Savage in WCW.
Well,
to start
yeah.
NWO.
Right.
Well, what a fall from grace for slamming Andre at WrestleMania 3. What a fall from grace.
Yeah.
So at this time, let's have a moment of silence for the Yo Bro movement, because as of right now, there's no more Yo Bro. I ain't your bro, no mo.
Yeah, that's depressing.
I was trying to do a moment of silence.
Oh.
Okay, thank you. You son of a bitch.
How dare you disparage
I can't believe that.
the moment.
You know what? When Owen Hart dies and you do a moment of silence, I'm gonna be like, no, you're not supposed to slam the table like you fell.
Dude, I'm fucking wait till I get there in November, you son of a bitch. I'm choking your ass out Benoit style.
Oh, no, you better not.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, choke me out Benoit style and then drop his action figure on my chest.
Damn right.
So that way when the police come, they'll be like, oh my God, it was Kevin Sullivan.
Mm-hmm.
It was full circle. We knew it the
Get
whole time.
ready, you biz itch.
You're a real piece of work. Let's go to some house show notes. Maybe we'll go to a show this week that's the WWF, because last week we said we'd go to the USWA, and that might be alarming. Tacoma, Washington at the Dome on August 18th, 1994 had 6,000 fans in attendance, and the card featured the following matches. Sparky Plugg taking on Quebecer Pierre, Adam Bomb battling Quang, WWF Tag Team Champions the Headshrinkers defending against Shawn Michaels and WWF Intercontinental Champion Diesel, Duke Drosy squaring off against Stephen Dunn, who was a substitute for Rick Martel, the Barbarian substituting for Yokozuna squaring off against Typhoon, IRS battling Tatanka in a strap match, and in your main event, WWF World Champion Bret Hart and Razor Ramon teaming up to battle Owen Hart and Jim Neidhart.
No.
Yeah, I can't say I'd go to that one either.
Was that a sellout?
No, 6,000 people at the Tacoma Dome is not a sellout. That can fit close to like 20,000 people.
Okay, then yeah,
They got 6,000. So,
no. And that could be papered as well.
Probably heavily.
Yeah, they gave several hundred tickets away on the radio for that show, probably.
Yeah.
No, dude, I'm not going to that.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that one too. Let's go to Pittsfield, Massachusetts on the same day, August 18th, 1994. The card featured the following matches: Nikolai Volkov squaring off against PJ Walker, who has blocked me on Twitter. So thank you, PJ Walker. Bob Backlund squaring off against Mabel. WWF Women's Champion Alundra Blaze defending against Bull Nakano. Doink the Clown in singles action against Jeff Jarrett. 1-2-3 Kid battling Abe Schwartz. And Lex Luger taking on Yokozuna.
Fuck you, dude. No. Absolutely not.
This has been a brutal summer.
Good God, man.
Yeah. I'm going to pass on all of that.
Summer Sizzler tour my ass. God damn it. There's no sizzle at all to that fucking card.
No. It's just a whole bunch of just bad.
If anything, I'm making some dumb buddy go, and I'm making him take his tape recorder out for the fucking Nakano Blaze match. But that's it.
Yeah. Anything after that? No.
No.
Yeah. On to some syndication, which again, similar to last week, we normally will talk about matches, but again, this is just one we don't want to talk about. Adam Bomb joined forces with the Smoking Guns on the August 20th edition of Superstars to take on Well Done and Quang.
Oh, God.
Luckily for us, Adam Bomb and the Smoking Guns were able to win. Bomb pinned Dunn after a pump handle slam. So, sorry to all of our listeners that wanted to hear a description of that. I just, mentally, physically, probably wouldn't be able to handle it. Nothing to do against, Guns or Bomb, or even maybe Well Done, but Quang 2 weeks in a row, just in a featured match. And he was already on Raw, so I got to watch him. You know, I can't. I don't. Can't
how do you feel about me not hating the pairing up of Bomb and the Guns? I don't hate that.
Yeah, but like, how does it make sense?
To make Adam Bomb a cowboy.
Just switch him, Brian
Dude,
Clark.
yeah. Fucking he could pull off a cowboy gimmick.
I guess.
Come on. Don't even change his name.
The ladies would probably like, the whole like, exposed chest, cowboy.
Yeah.
Tight jeans or whatever.
Dude,
I'm
sure.
I'm liking it just talking about it.
Exactly. And it's like Bomb and Guns. That's perfect. Like, that's an outlaw cowboy fucking gang if I've ever heard it.
Yeah. That's
like,
a Survivor Series team right there. Bomb and Guns.
Come on.
Guns
Absolutely. Absolutely. Give me some vignettes of them robbing banks in the Wild West.
Yeah, hello.
Dude, sign me up. They come out with bandanas on. Come on. Come out
with the horse on a stick type of thing and just come out riding on it.
Yeah, Pepe, dude. This shit writes
Pepe.
itself, dude.
Do it.
This shit writes itself.
How do you not do any of that? I don't understand.
Yeah, and the finish is called Yippee Ki-Yay, and it's like a 3-man finish. Fucking book it.
They could do the pump handle. Dude, this would be sick. Adam Bomb does a pump handle slam, driving his opponent onto Bart Gunn's knee. Billy comes off the top, leg drop onto the opponent. 1, 2, 3. Hello. What are we waiting for?
Dude, that's fucking brutal.
Could you imagine Scott Taylor bump handle slam onto Bart Gunn's knee, and then Billy's like, "Fuck you, man! I'm coming off the top and do a leg drop." The sidewinder off the top rope. Boom! 1, 2, 3.
Jesus Christ! Yippee Ki-Yay, dude! That's the finish right there.
Yeah, but WWF 94, they'd have to pull him up and then hit like a running elbow drop or something for the true 3 count.
That's the real finish.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's funny as fuck. I love that. I love that idea.
I think that'd be nuts. They pull that off. Speaking of nuts, let's go into the Sunday Night Slam on August 21st, 1994. Of course, this was taped before the August 15th Raw from Lowell, Massachusetts. This is from Youngstown, Ohio, which was the previous Raws, I believe August 1st and August 8th.
Fuck,
so we're kind of presenting stuff out of order, I guess, in terms of how they were taped, but that's to be expected here in the 90s. Mm-hmm. Randy Savage and Jim Ross are on commentary to hype up the program. Jim Ross is just so different compared to all the announcers. It's just kind of, he really sticks out, not necessarily in a bad way, but he's just so Southern and he makes it seem like it's an actual sport.
Yeah, to whereas everybody else kind of feels like they're getting themselves over. I feel like Jim is actually trying to get the product over, which is kind of refreshing to me.
That's exactly what you want.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
We go right into our first match, which has been the most heavily promoted match to take place on the card. It's Lex Luger taking on Crush. Early on, Luger avoids a big boot and he nearly pins Crush following a leaping crossbody. Crush gets the advantage following a cheap shot when the referee was out of position. Crush then focuses his offense mainly on strikes and goes for a pile driver, but Luger counters with a backdrop. Luger sends Crush crashing down to the floor following a shoulder block. Crush regains control with a backbreaker, but only gets a 2 count on the cover attempt. Crush works over Luger's back with basic strikes and a camel clutch. Luger counters a suplex attempt with an inside cradle, but Crush kicks out just before 3. Ted DiBiase makes his way down to ringside as Luger plants Crush with a DDT, but only gets a 2 count. Crush nails Luger with a super kick, or a savant kick, probably more accurate. DiBiase gets on the apron after Crush hits a tilt-a-roll backbreaker. Crush takes money out of DiBiase's hand, and he wants DiBiase to get into the ring. That distraction allows Luger to hit a running forearm smash and wins the match. So, of course, we are going to kind of lead into this thinking, DiBiase helped Luger win, but realistically, Luger's probably not even aware of what's going on. And I believe later on in the show, they kind of hype up the fact that he used the illegal forearm, whichever the case is. What did you think of the match between Luger and Crush and then the involvement of DiBiase here?
Well, I noticed that neither guy had any manager right from the beginning.
So I want to point out, I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to point out that like in the hype video or whatever, they were saying like Crush is his own man. He doesn't take orders from anybody. So does that mean he's out of the alliance with like Yoko and Fuji and Cornette?
Okay, I'm going to say this, and I don't want to say it out loud because I'm afraid it's going to happen.
Okay.
I feel like they're going to try and turn this motherfucker face again.
Crush?
Yeah.
And maybe the DiBiase involvement leads to that?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And like they're already distancing him from Fuji and all this shit. Like he's his own man now. So you're already pulling back the heel layers a little bit.
Right.
So I don't know, dude. Not that Crush has done anything substantial as a heel by any means, but I think character-wise, he works better as a heel. Because as a face, I just want to throw up. Like, I'm so over it.
Yeah.
But, dude, I'm afraid that that's where we're fucking going again. This seesaw shit with all these guys, it's just ridiculous. So, I don't know. Going into it, I'm skeptical. There was a couple times, though, where Crush is making Lex look like a scrub. And I was like, okay, this is weird. Several times I was pretty bored here. I even pulled my phone out a couple times, which usually while I'm taking notes, I do not do that. But this was pretty brutal. I mean, we were in bear hugs several times and a lot of stalling. I didn't mind the Ted DiBiase thing because, again, I think it came off pretty good. Because, again, Ted's fucking distracting Crush. Crush slaps the money out of the hand. I'm thinking, okay, there you go. There's your fucking face foreshadowing, right? But here's Lex on the other side of the ring, and it's like, did these guys set this up? Because it kind of fucking looks like that. And then, again, Lex uses the fucking illegal forearm for the finish. I think I don't know. I thought it was well done. I didn't mind the finish. The match was boring, of course, because it's Crush and Lex Luger. They have about 3 moves between both guys.
Yeah.
But the more I think about it, the more I kind of want Lex to be with Ted. And I kind of want Ted to dump everybody else and just have Lex. And have them be like a power couple.
That has more value than having DiBiase with fucking IRS and Bigelow and whoever and fucking Nikolai Volkov. If you just have a DiBiase and Luger, DiBiase is your mouthpiece and Luger can be your shining star or whatever, shining heels. So
I almost want it to be so bad and Lex be such a piece of shit that it's like, yeah, I signed with Ted, but the only reason I signed with Ted is because he agreed to take all his money out of these guys and give that to me too. So all these guys are out.
Where's that? You could turn Bigelow and all them face.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, dude, what? Yeah. I cashed in on all of you guys. I made him pull all of his investments out of you and give them to me. And now Lex is really a piece of shit.
Could you imagine Nikolai Volkov's reaction to that? Wait, brother, you took my $1.75 from me?
I'm going to go wrinkle the shirt I just ironed. So, dude, yeah. I mean, I feel like that makes the most sense. Because at this point, what are you going to do with Lex? Realistically.
Right.
Fucking nothing. So at least do something. And I think that would work best. Because really, Ted and Bam Bam, there's no chemistry. Ted and fucking Nikolai Volkov, like, that's stupid. Him on IRS is so played out. I think a Ted Lex Luger, that says new generation to me. Ted DiBiase's a bastard. And Lex Luger's profiting off of that.
Luger is a substantially better heel to begin with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's almost as if Ted could like live vicariously through Luger.
Right.
And I think that's perfect. So I don't know. To me, it makes sense.
I like all that.
But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We know how it fucking goes. Lex is going to be like, no, I'm the American hero. And then like kill Ted. And then it's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. We're just going to keep on treading water with you.
Yeah, we know.
I thought the match was okay at best. I mean, it it was boring. The crowd a couple of times seemed like to be pretty well into it though. So I guess there's that for them. I guess Crush can say he's accomplished having a match where people actually cared about it. So finish was okay. It's just I think it comes to a point where you continually tease DiBiase's association with them. It kind of waters it down.
Yeah.
You don't need to do it like every single week. You know,
every
maybe
match
once or
that
twice.
Lex has.
Right. Like you can only maybe do it a couple of times instead of. So I think when you do it so many times and Luger clearly either refutes it or he doesn't know, makes it pretty clear that he's not going to do it.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
I think they might have overplayed their hand a little bit on that one.
Right.
We go to Vince McMahon and Jerry Lawler. They're at the WWF studio, which is live. Of course, this is a taped show, but this aspect of it is live. They promote a call-in line where you can call into the show, and Lawler will tell the fans what he feels about them should they call in. They can ask like questions or all these other things. So,
and really quick, right here, Bob, are you thinking this shit's set up?
Yeah.
Me too. Like 100%. There's no way they're having legit people call in.
Right. Little would we know we're in for a surprise on that one. Because spoiler alert, it's not fixed. We see footage from the Royal Rumble to promote the Undertaker versus Undertaker match. Of course, you know, the rising to the heavens and I'll be back, whatever. Followed by the various fans that saw the Undertaker and then describing it. We've talked about this week after week, so there's no real point in continuing on from that. We go to our second match of the evening, and it is 1-2-3 Kid teaming up with Sparky Plugg to take on an even newer team, Bam Bam Bigelow and IRS. Kid and Bigelow kick off the match. Bigelow uses power advantage by tossing Kid high into the air, but on a second attempt, Kid hits a drop kick. Kid comes off the top rope to nail Bigelow with a missile drop kick. Bigelow misses Kid in the corner, and Kid works over Bigelow with several kicks, sending the big man to the floor. Kid followed up with a slingshot somersault dive. It's been a relatively hot start to the match, which is surprising compared to others. Sparky Plugg dumps IRS to the floor and they begin to brawl as well. Plugg gets a legal tag and he hits a top rope crossbody on Bigelow, though it didn't look all that great. Bigelow misses a falling headbutt after a slam. IRS enters and hammers away on Plugg. Plugg fights back with a drop kick for a near fall. Plugg nearly rolls Irwin up out of the corner. IRS tosses Kid to the floor to give his team the advantage. Bigelow rams Kid into the ring steps chest first. Bigelow and IRS are able to control Kid for a few minutes at this point. Bigelow plants Kid with a DDT, but couldn't finish him off. IRS does the airplane spin to Kid for near fall. Kid avoids a top rope moonsault by Bigelow. He finally tags in Plugg. Plugg is a house of fire here, but he's not working all that great with some of his moves as he messed up a bulldog attempt on Bigelow, and it was pretty bad. Like Bigelow took the bump, and Plugg didn't even hit the move.
Yeah.
He cleans house and he goes up top, but is caught by Bigelow, who slams him, and he gets the win. Pretty obvious that Plugg was going to take the fall here, I thought. Not a bad tag match, I thought. Really, though, the focus here didn't come across as being on Bigelow and IRS, more of on 1-2-3 Kid and Sparky Plugg, which is hilarious because they aren't even on pay-per-view. Bigelow and IRS are. So I come out of this thinking Kid and Plugg are maybe an exciting team if Plugg were to be on the right page with some of his moves. I kind of like the idea of 1-2-3 Kid and Plugg as a tag team. Kind of, you got your head shrinkers as the power guys. Bigelow and IRS is, the heel powers, got the guns, men on a mission, whatever. And then having maybe a quick, high-flying duo of 1-2-3 Kid and Sparky Plugg could be a good
it's like the underdog team,
Right. I mean, these guys would match with the Heavenly Bodies on house shows. That could be some pretty good stuff.
Right.
But not a bad undercard match here on Sunday Night Slam. What did you think of this tag team match?
A couple of things here that I had noted. Firstly, Savage calls IRS and Bam Bam the best team that money can buy, which I think is kind of cool. I liked that little tie-in.
Bit of a stretch.
Well, yeah. I gotta say, I pretty much agree with you as far as like the chemistry between Kid and Sparky Plugg. I thought they teamed pretty well together. I liked how much really risk-taking Bob Sparky Plugg Holly did. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. I gotta say though, there was several times in the match where I don't know if it was like on purpose or not, but it kind of seemed like it. Bam Bam was being really reckless with 1-2-3 Kid. Like 1-2-3 Kid landed awkwardly on his head / neck area 2 or 3 times. And it's because Bam Bam basically just dropped him. Once was in like a full Nelson that folded him. And then another one was after a double team where, again, Bam Bam just drops him and 1-2-3 Kid like lands on the back of his head.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That seemed weird to me. But again, these are the types of guys that Bam Bam needs to be in matches with. Not fucking Doink the Clown, not fucking Typhoon, and all this other bullshit. He needs these little guys to work over and get worked over as if, oh my gosh, the littler guy's going to beat the bigger guy sort of thing. So I think Bam Bam has good chemistry with both of these guys. So I'm glad that that's kind of where we went with this match. A lot of good action. 1-2-3 Kid probably takes one of the best beatings on the roster, bar none. And as far as the pin, like you said, I mean, you know that's coming. It was a decent little tag match. And I feel like we haven't had a decent little tag match in a while, so I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that we haven't really had a good tag team match. We've had several good singles matches.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Last several weeks. But yeah, this would be, I would say this was a pretty good tag team action. Yeah, it was. It really was. It was a solid little match. I think, ironically, IRS wasn't really involved in it, but
which is very good because, again, I feel like Bam Bam had good chemistry with both guys, so I'm glad he did most of the heavy lifting here.
Yeah. We go into a Leslie Nielsen segment promoting SummerSlam. Of course, it's like him investigating things. I don't know if you are taking notes, if you want to discuss. There's like 3 of them, so I want to know right from this get-go if you want to dissect this at all, or if it's just a matter of glazing over it.
For me at this point, and here we are, I mean, they've already done kind of a lengthy recap of the whole Undertaker versus Undertaker thing at this point. Earlier in the show, it was a good probably 3 minutes that they like recapped the whole thing. Now again, we're getting this Leslie Nielsen Undertaker promo. For me at this point, this is being shoved down our throats worse than the Lex Express is. Like, I feel like everything in the last 3 months has been either Ted DiBiase talking about it, promos talking about it, vignettes talking about it, fucking Domino's talking about it, Todd Pettengill talking about it. I am so fucking sick of the Undertaker angle and Leslie Nielsen being a part of it. I'm sick of everything, and I cannot wait until after SummerSlam, where I never have to fucking hear about the Undertaker facing the Undertaker ever fucking again. Because I hate it.
I completely agree with you, and that means that we will not dissect it. I will just mention that segment takes place on the show. There's no sense in continuing talking about it.
No.
Coming out of that, we have a SummerSlam report with Todd Pettengill. Similar to kind of like the Leslie Nielsen thing, he just runs over the same stuff that we already know about. I don't think there's anything new to chat about here, so we'll just continue on as well.
Although
go ahead.
Although Razor does get to talk this time.
Oh, right. They put in the unedited part of what they did.
Exactly. So this is where Razor actually talks. He says that Diesel's time is ticking as champion, and he says he has, sweetness in his corner, and he'll be sure to keep Shawn in his plate. So, at least Razor talked this week. But you could totally tell it's literally just the footage cut in half. Like, that's what they did. So, it is what it is.
I thought it was hilarious. I thought maybe they would at least use a different, footage, or
something, or in a different setting.
One.
Like they just move setting or something.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Razor Ramon, he is in singles action against Todd Becker, I should say. Not Pecker. That'd be
I like
awful.
Pecker. I like that one.
Ramon, as you would expect, completely dominates this match, and he wins it with the Razor's edge. Just kind of, I guess, more momentum as he heads into SummerSlam 1994.
Razor was lighting this guy up with chops. They sounded fucking brutal. And even the commentators kind of reacted to it. I I did notice here that Razor was kind of being more of a dick than usual, though. He's like really slapping the back of the guy's head. He's kicking him around the canvas. I almost feel like the crowd was maybe a little thrown off too, because Razor's being like super cocky, like almost like, what's he doing here? What is this? But I'll tell you what, man. Huge reaction for him when he comes out. The fucking lights, the look. Razor Ramon should probably be the champion coming out of WrestleMania. And I don't mean the IC fucking champion. Razor Ramon is a fucking star. Fucking star, dude. For me, give the belt to Razor. He's earned it. And he is a fucking star. He is organically over. Brett's still more over. But just the look and the whole presentation, I don't know, man. I'm sold big time on Razor Ramon. 94 Razor. Yep.
I think he's definitely there.
For sure. 2 times more than last year. And he was getting WWF title shots last year. Right. This dude has arrived. Razor Ramon's in fucking full effect. So
I would totally be in favor of him being and it'd be something refreshing too, because you can make the argument that the main event scene might be the same guys.
Exactly. New generation, dude. Razor Ramon is your champion. Fuck yeah to that. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind him going into 95 as like the top guy. I think that's totally reasonable.
He 100% looks like the guy. Razor comes off to me as the guy.
Even like a Ramon Diesel feud in 95.
Yeah.
That could be legit. The matches might not be great, but it could be a drawing feud.
Razor Shawn for the WWF title.
Well, yeah.
Come on.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Razor Owen
would be fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy.
Not a doubt. What isn't awesome is that there's another Leslie Nielsen segment here, still promoting Undertaker and SummerSlam.
I do want to break this one down.
Okay.
Because it's the only genuine chuckle that I've got out of any of these. Okay. So Leslie Nielsen, he's sitting in his office. It's like maps on the wall, photos of the Undertaker spottings, his possible whereabouts, right? It's like this like cave of secrets that he has here. The phone rings. It's Domino's. It's Domino's. Send it on up. So you're like, okay, whatever. He's talking into a recorder, very dramatic, whatever. Drops the recorder, so he's got to go under his desk to get it because it's rolled under the desk. Off camera, in the Undertaker voice, you just hear pizza. And the Undertaker proceeds to deliver the Domino's pizza to Leslie Nielsen's desk. And you see his silhouette like walk and leave the room and exit. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
So how do you laugh at that but not Yoko Claus?
Because this is absolutely fucking ridiculous. The Undertaker has just delivered Domino's, and the cherry on top. Pizza. Like, are you fucking kidding me? This is such a goddamn farce. Such a joke. So laughable. The Undertaker doesn't come off intimidating at all. At all.
I think it's terrific that you have Yokozuna as Santa Claus and now Taker delivers pizza.
What a fucking joke.
Does that mean he has a job at Domino's? What does his resume look like?
He might as well, because I wouldn't want to work for WWF anymore at this point.
What's your history here? I bury people?
Digging holes and stealing souls. They're like, I don't know,
Dead Man
man.
Inc. What's this company Dead Man Inc. all about? Well, from 91 until right now, I've murdered a lot of people.
You've done it now. You've gone and made a big mistake.
I'm going to keep rolling.
Right on to my next delivery for you if you hire me.
Wow.
Ridiculous.
People will die a happy customer when I deliver your Domino's order.
Your pepperoni will rest in peace. 8 pieces because that's the way I'll slice it. Give me a fucking break.
That needs to be the way that they do Taker Yoko. That there's a pre-tape. Yokozuna has ordered Chinese food. He opens the door and it's Undertaker with a bag. Someone asked for delivery. And Yokozuna just shits himself.
At the next WrestleMania, dude, WrestleMania 11, I demand a Yoko Claus versus Delivery Taker main event.
I can't. They're giving occupational jobs
Like, are you fucking kidding
to
me,
these ridiculous characters. Even if it's like a
you
pre-tape, like, give
me?
me a break.
So stupid.
Oh my god. Well, the stupidity continues.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
He's such a great investigator that he doesn't even realize it's the Undertaker. It's fine.
Literally him in the
Yeah,
office.
it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
The stupidity continues with Abe Knuckleball Schwartz. He's on strike in the crowd. Just like a passing comment. Luckily, he didn't have to say any words. He just had to sign up and he walked around.
Yeah, thank God.
Our next match is Heidi Lee Morgan in singles action against Bull Nakano. Now, I didn't write any notes down for this, not because I was necessarily bored by it, but rather because I was watching this at approximately 1:58 in the morning. So I decided not to write notes. But I know Austin Skinner did, and he likes himself some Bull Nakano. So, Austin, what do you have for this match?
Well, unlike how I used to do it, of course, because you've been the resident play-by-play man.
Yeah.
I do not have a full breakdown of the match, but I do have a couple of...
That's probably fine.
Yeah, I do have a couple of notes to make. I don't like the association with Luna Vachon as far as Bull Nakano. I feel like it takes away from Bull a little bit. But nonetheless, Luna does come down with her again here. Heidi was already in the ring waiting, which I thought was kind of interesting, especially since I've never seen her before, and I don't know television-wise. If we've never seen her, she probably should have gotten an entrance, even if it was basic. Savage says that he's asked both Luna and Bull out on a double date, and they refused him, which is funny because Savage has made comments about Luna before, as far as like hitting her up and wanting to date her. And I can't even imagine that fucking pairing of those two lunatics together. So that always gets a crack from me.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Heidi Lee Morgan was whipping out some really good moves here. I don't know if her and Bull worked on the match beforehand, but there was a couple of things where I was like, holy shit, she knows like some Japanese shit.
Well, they had wrestled on the house shows, I think, leading into this.
Yeah, so if you
remember, because Heidi would be a replacement for Alundra Blaze.
Right. Yeah, so you could tell that these guys have these ladies have definitely worked before. Yeah. Some of these exact spots because they were really, really good. And I'll tell you what, Heidi Lee Morgan's ass wasn't looking too bad either. In her little,
it was full riding on, like riding up her ass.
Yeah, it was out.
And Sarah made a comment like she thought she was gonna fall out.
Yeah, it was basically both cheeks.
100%. It left very little to the imagination.
Exactly. So I was sold. Okay.
Of course you were sold on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you know how much Bull Nakano weighs? I know you're not supposed to talk about women's weight, but it was Google search last night, and I was actually stunned.
Well, they announced her at 220.
Yeah, well, she's not 220. She was, I guess, more close to like 250.
Okay, I still would have plowed that out.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
plowed it out. He says.
He
would have plowed out Bull Nakano at 250.
Dude, yeah, she looks good. She's thick. I'm into that.
Sarah's totally on board with you.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I don't think she knows who I'm talking about when I say Bull Nakano. Do you know who I'm talking about? Bull Nakano? Oh yeah, the one with the tall hair. Okay, so yeah, I guess Sarah would knock out. She would bang Bull Nakano too.
Yeah.
Oh no, you wouldn't. Oh, not her personally, so she can see. Right. Okay.
No, yeah, I'd plow that out.
Yeah.
Regardless,
Unbelievable.
Bull Nakano's character play is very, very good. She comes off like her mystique is really good. She's like biting during one of her submissions. Just the way she kind of like prowls around the ring is really, really good. Full character, which is awesome, especially for females in 1994. Like that's to have ring presence like that is very impressive.
Yeah.
The crowd was super into this one. We got a couple of near falls. I did feel bad because at one point Savage says that Heidi was being outweighed by roughly 753 pounds. I was like, oh shit, that didn't age too well, Randy.
No, it did not, Macho.
So I thought that was pretty funny. And dude, the finish, the fucking huge leg drop off the top to like kill Heidi Lee Morgan. So good. Looked so good, so impactful. They even replayed it a couple of times.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I've liked this match more than anything else we've seen on this card. It was another solid women's match. And I got to tell you, Bull Nakano's really delivering. I don't know what they're paying her, and I don't know if it's really worth her time to even be over in the United States right now. I mean, you're getting the exposure, but not nearly the quality talent to work with. But she is delivering the goods. Every time we've seen her, it's been like kind of eye-opening. And this match, again, was pretty good, and I didn't know what to expect with Heidi Lee Morgan. So, yeah, I was into it. The finish was awesome, and it was a competitive little match. Now, the weight difference thing did make it a little silly. Because, I mean, at one point, Heidi came off the top rope, I think, in a crossbody, and, like, Bull falls over, and it's like, you know, really? Would she really fall over? Probably not, you know?
Yeah.
But regardless, it was a solid match.
I was really surprised by it as well, to be honest with you. More so than I was with Alundra and Nakano, because I think there's some belief that on television, Alundra and Nakano could have a good match, and they delivered a good match. This one, it's like, I haven't really seen Heidi Lee Morgan wrestle, at least not since like the late 80s.
Yeah, you don't expect
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I feel like she did a pretty good job. And like you said with the leg drop off the top by Nakano, that was like a devastating move.
Looked brutal.
And I thought it was terrific. So sign me up for some more Bull Nakano. Give Nakano the strap.
Yep.
And have Blaze chase after her for the next several months, because I think that would make some really good matches in TV, in house shows, whichever the case is. Bull Nakano needs to be on the roster for the foreseeable future for that women's division, without question.
Yes.
We go to a special interview with WWF World Champion Bret Hart with Ray Rougeau. It's pretty obvious that this took place on Superstars, because Superstars is on the screen.
I think it's
not
kind of
even
lame
in the same arena.
Yeah, I think it's kind of lame that they're using this old footage. Like, hey, here's this interview with Bret. Well, shit, I would have liked to have known when that happened.
Right.
You know?
Maybe it's just bad editing, maybe bad placement of cameras, which are the cases. I feel like when they do that, they try to like hide the fact that it was from a different
blend it. Right.
Yeah, but this was definitely not the case.
Right.
Ray hypes up Bret's cage match at SummerSlam with his brother Owen. Bret notes that Owen won only one match against him and considers Owen a lost and confused soul. At SummerSlam, everything is on the line, both title and the family. Everything will end between himself and Owen at SummerSlam.
It's nothing special.
It wasn't. There was no like passion behind it, really.
Yeah, and I
just
feel
like
like
the same stuff he's been saying for.
I was gonna say, I feel like Bret was kind of out of stuff to say, and then they're like, "Hey, Bret, we're gonna give you a special interview in the ring tonight," and he's like, "Oh fuck, you know, what do I fucking say now?"
I got nothing to say here.
I think his most poignant thing he was saying, which isn't anything special by any means. Well, firstly, he says that Anvil's fat and stupid, and that outside of the cage he can't do anything. So I was like, oh, okay, Bret. Then Bret proceeds to say that Owen's going to cry inside the steel cage once he wins, just like he did like a baby in his crib. So Bret basically admitted to tormenting Owen as he was a infant. basically making him cry while he was in the crib, I guess. So Brett basically turned himself heel during the show. So I was like, I don't know if that's what you meant. Yeah, I don't know. Brett's been so good leading up to this and so passionate and believable. This one felt kind of phoned in because, again, it was on Superstars from a couple of weeks ago, most likely. And he probably didn't think that they'd feature it as a special interview. No. So I don't know. It wasn't very good.
Yeah, there's only so many times you can say the same exact thing and make it feel important or different.
Right.
He just ran out of things to say. Yeah. So it was like a brief overview of why they don't like each other.
Right. And then it just ends. His music plays, he waves and he leaves. So it's nothing. It's
not nothing in depth either. Yeah. It's pretty quick. Right. We of course get a commercial here with Bret Hart and the young kid, a play on the whole old Pepsi commercial with Mean Joe Green. And let's go to a dream match, folks. It's WWF Intercontinental Champion Diesel defending against Typhoon. I don't really know if it was for the title, but for my sanity, I think it was.
I don't know, yeah.
Diesel hammers away on Typhoon in the corner early on to get the upper hand. Typhoon comes off the ropes and simply runs over Diesel, followed by a scoop slam for a near fall. And to be honest with you, that is more offense than I ever expected Typhoon to get on Diesel, and yet it happened. Diesel misses a big boot attempt in the corner, and Typhoon hammers away on the champ. Typhoon clotheslines Diesel, but misses a leg drop. Typhoon splashes Diesel in the corner several times. Typhoon proceeds to run into a big boot, and Diesel hits a running clothesline to win the match. It's the match I never knew I wanted to see, and I saw it, and I don't want to see it again. So, I don't know why Typhoon is wrestling at this point. It blows my mind for WWF. Well, I'm just glad Diesel won. I didn't like that he took a bump and rolled to the floor for Typhoon.
Dude.
But it happened.
That was my least favorite part. I literally have it written down. Watching Diesel take a normal bump off a body slam especially.
Yeah.
Was really weird. I don't want to see that again. No, not good.
I'm hopeful that we will never see Typhoon again in the WWF. I've heard he's a great guy, but he's not a great guy to watch.
No, it's his time is done. Yeah. He's nothing left to prove. His time is over.
I think he's literally working the matches that Earthquake was originally supposed to be in.
And like we said before, we'd much rather Earthquake than Typhoon.
100%.
So, it is what it is. Diesel does get corner pyro for this match, which I thought was weird because, again, he's fighting Typhoon.
Yeah.
Probably could have saved that. Sean's in full entrance gear, which I thought is hilarious because, no need for that either. It was a quick finish, as it should have been. I thought that Typhoon did get too much offense in. But it was what it was. I mean, again, the booking confuses me. Who thought anybody was going to look dynamite coming out of that one? I don't know. But it is what it is. I'd much rather Diesel in different spots than that, for sure.
Yeah. We get another Leslie Nielsen segment. Again, looking for The Undertaker.
It's it's overkill.
Yeah. Here's a fun fact. There's another one still to come in the show. Yeah. We'll get there in about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Jerry Lawler and Vince McMahon promote their service yet again. Call in and we'll talk to you. Have a question? Great. We'll answer it. And then I guess you can say we get into our main event where the fake Undertaker takes on Sonny Rogers. And this match is literally maybe 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Fake Undertaker hits a tombstone and he wins the match. And then they get a body bag after the bout for Sonny Rogers to rest in. These are the types of matches that the fake Undertaker should have been partaking in from the beginning. It should have been
absolutely.
It should have been less than 30 seconds to hit the trademark moves and then get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, and it's funny too because we've seen him do several minute matches, and it's
it's unnecessary. Working with Tatanka, come on.
You're ruining the illusion.
Right.
If you would have kept it to this the whole time and only had maybe 3-4 matches tops on TV, you might have something there. But the fact that, you got people standing up in the front row saying this is fake, like that's not the real guy, because he's having these several minute matches and like overacting the part of the Undertaker, you fucked up. That's on you. He should have been it should have been like that the whole time. And that's what we mentioned last week that we were going to get into, because again, if they would have stuck to this, I don't think it would have broke through as quickly as it did. Another couple of things I wanted to mention here. Savage says that he would like to see one day the Undertaker take on the Overgiver.
He's
Which again, it's like, Randy, what are you fucking talking
he's
about?
doing just like dad jokes, but like dad jokes that make no sense.
And they're out of nowhere. Like, what the fuck? What are you talking about, man?
Like, we get it, Randy. Undertaker and then Undergiver.
Overgiver. Yeah.
Yeah. We get it.
So I'm still hoping that somewhere down the road, we're going to have an Overgiver as a character. And that'll be the final match, because Randy Savage, he premonitioned it.
Randy's going to be like, this is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I saw this guy.
I'm holding out hope for that one day. Also, too, more so on a personal note, that we get a Maximum Carnage game commercial. I'm a big Spider-Man mark, so I super popped for that because I love that game. Plus a Mortal Kombat commercial, which again, I'm a super mark for Mortal Kombat. So I popped on that, and it just oozes early 90s. Arcadey kind of styled games, perfect games to promote during a wrestling show. You got your superheroes and you got your fighter, beat 'em up sort of thing. So I really liked that. I don't know if that's on the network version. I doubt it.
No, it was not.
Yeah, so that's on the Google Drives version that I acquired.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool little throwbacks there that we got here after this squash match.
We get another Leslie Nielsen segment, the final one of him looking for the Undertaker.
And it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's
Same
amazing.
thing.
It's amazing how many times they fucking went with that on this one show. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Jim Ross and Randy Savage promote the SummerSlam event, and then we get into arguably the most entertaining part of this entire experience for Sunday Night Slam. Jerry Lawler and Vince McMahon chat to close the program. Now, here's a reminder: they're taking phone calls from people all over the country to talk about SummerSlam, anytime questions, whatever.
Toll free. Just call in.
Just call in. You're good. We're two friends. We're two pals just having fun. John from Wisconsin asks Lawler if he would take Owen's place against Brett at SummerSlam, which is like, why? Why would he say no? Lawler says that, sure, it'd be great, whatever, but he doesn't want to take that spot away from Owen. Owen deserves it. Owen should be the champion. He should beat his older brother, stuff like that. So pretty much a heel response with, not taking heat away from Owen.
And as of here, I'm thinking, okay, we're getting canned response or canned phone-ins. Like, this is going to be set up the whole time. Because that was if you're Vince, that's the question you want. You want people invested in your stories, and heels talking about heels. You know what I mean? It made sense. So I was like, okay, this is going to be bullshit for the next 10 minutes.
Well, Janice from New Jersey. Janice from New Jersey asks if the other taker is part of the Twin Towers. But McMahon's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I feel like she might have been referencing the Skyscrapers.
Yeah,
like
I
tag
think
team.
I think
from like WCW, NWA. And McMahon is legitimately like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, maybe. What do you think, Lawler? And like they just kind of move away from it. She also asks why Lawler is so mean. Lawler asks if her dates kiss her or shake her paw. So that's classic Lawler just insulting this innocent woman.
Dude, when she spits out this fucking Twin Towers thing,
Yeah.
Vince is so caught off guard, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, oh fuck. He's, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Could be. Nobody
That
knows.
could be the case. We don't know where this guy came from.
And Lawler just rips him second question? You're telling people to call in and you give them, I don't know? Answer the question, Vince. Okay, there's no answer to this bullshit. So funny. Yeah. So funny. And then King does when you go on a date, you get a kiss goodnight, or do they shake your paw sort of thing. Yeah. And they hung up on her. They call the button the Royal Flusher or whatever, which I think is good. Yeah. But dude, as soon as Janice calls in, I'm like, oh fuck, these are real people. What else is gonna happen?
100%.
So I'm totally into it.
I was waiting for just more train wreck. Because they're not even filtering these. They're just like, okay, so I'm gonna call it. Go. Dude, they're not even asking, what are you going to ask?
No, and it's so funny because it's like, as soon as she's done like spitting out her question, it's like dead air.
Yeah.
Dude, it's fucking classic.
There's a few times, I'll just point out now, there's a few times where like they get bad receptions.
Yeah.
So they have to like fill time. But so I don't know. I don't think I have it noted as to where that happens. But I want to note that out. Sometimes there's a couple of areas where it's like just bad audio. Right. Stephanie from Maryland calls in. She's 12 years old. And she asks if Paul Bearer has the real Taker or someone that just looks like him. And of course, Lawler believes that DiBiase has the real one. And then after that question, we go to a commercial. After commercial.
Really quick about Stephanie's question.
Sure.
She is 12 years old and she basically has the whole angle figured out. So, I mean, there you fucking go. Okay. There you go.
She literally is.
Well, because
she's going into 7th grade and she understands it.
Yeah. Well, she goes, is it just somebody who looks like him? Vince was like, well, I don't think that'd be very easy, but it could be, maybe. Like, shut up, you little bitch. You're giving away the storyline. Dude, I was loving this shit.
You know what's funny, though? That wouldn't be the only time that someone pretty much gave away a storyline in this whole conversation. Donna from Florida asks if Taker has a twin brother. McMahon's like, that could be the case. Yeah, you never know. Kind of like a little softball question to recover.
Yeah, well, we'll see you in 1997 as far as that goes, Donna.
Yeah, Donna. If she's even a wrestling fan by that point, probably not. Yeah. Don from West Virginia calls in about Taker and Luger. He says, hey, Vince, I don't think Luger sold out, but I think Tatanka did. It's like,
of course, the redneck fucking says it.
It's just like, whatever. And McMahon's is like, he has nothing to say to that. He's just like, wow. Well, that would be interesting.
Why would you think that?
What happened?
He's like, fuck, you don't get the storyline? Are you fucking serious? Oh, my God. And I love that Don from West Virginia laughs at the jokes that King says about him. Because King like kind of rips him to shreds in the beginning, and you just hear Don on the phone like, oh, he's laughing about being called a dumb redneck or whatever. So
you're right, Jerry.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Lawler thinks Don would be sold by the pound. That's the only way that he would make money. Yeah. Jim from Illinois thinks that Luger has sold out to DiBiase. Then we get a caller named Vinny.
Before Vinny.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jim from Chicago makes a perfect point about the steel-plated forearm and how basically Ted helped Lex win.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And he's
this
talking
is what I was referencing when I said about that match. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's talking to Vince like Vince is a shithead. he's like, yeah, like that's obvious. And Vince is like, well, I don't know if it's, and he's like, no, it's obvious. Oh my fucking God.
A good guy wouldn't use an illegal forearm.
Yeah, like, what are you talking about? And Vince is like, well, I don't know. Dude, it was so funny. He's talking to Vince like he's some fucking jabroni. Like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
So I liked Jim from Chicago. I thought he was funny too.
Vinny calls in, and I think this is one that has like bad reception, and he, I think, tells Lawler, bite me. And then it just cuts out.
He does say that, dude.
And McMahon's like, wait, what? What did he say? What? And I bet you the producers are probably like, no, dude, no.
Fucking hang up.
Just hang up. Royal Flusher.
That had to be a prank, dude.
It had to
It's
be.
like static in the beginning, and they're both listening. They're like, Vinny, you there? And even King like tries to make a joke about, oh, Vinny, what's going on, Vinny? You know, like Italian or whatever.
Yeah.
And he just when he bite me, and he fucking hangs up. I was like, oh my god.
Man.
And they try to brush it off, but there's no brushing it
There's
off. I
no.
know what he just fucking said.
Yeah, I did. I
So-
was like, there's no way he didn't just say bite me. Like he for sure said.
Love
Bob from New Jersey wonders if the Undertaker is real. John calls in and asks Lawler who his tag partner would be. McMahon makes a pretty bad joke saying that Lawler would be partners with Dink.
Yeah.
And of course,
like-
Lawler thinks that Owen would be an ideal partner. King, royalty, that whole play in there.
right.
Go ahead.
Really quick about Bob too, as far as asking about two Undertakers. He sounded like he was about 7 years old.
Yeah.
So that was funny. And then really, John, I think it kind of had a good question to finish it out. Oh, King, who would you have tag with you? You know?
Yeah.
But holy shit, man. That was probably the most entertaining 10 minutes of the whole show.
Oh, then you're not even aware that there's more.
There's more.
There's more. So you need to watch the network part
Oh no.
because there's more.
Oh no.
So I'll just let you know what goes on. Javon from New York called in, but he wasn't there. So they're just like, okay, we'll just move on.
Okay.
John from Minnesota calls in, and he has a really bad connection. They're having difficulties at this point with the call-in portion.
Okay.
Laura from Florida pretty much says, Vince, I knew you didn't do it, in reference to the steroid scandal.
No
I-
way.
I knew you were innocent the entire time. And he's just
No
like, yeah,
way.
thank you. I appreciate that. Lawler, mind you, she hangs up as soon as she says this.
Yeah.
So Lawler's like, let me draw what Laura looks like for you. He proceeds to draw. He's when I say this, I'm saying this because Lawler is a terrific artist. So
Yes.
He does comics, all these things. He's very good at drawing.
Right.
He draws the most hideous looking woman ever. She's got boils on her face. It's just ridiculous. Unfortunately, she had hung up, so you couldn't get that reaction of what she would have said. But he clearly didn't draw it in that time because that would have taken some time.
No,
so he
yeah.
had that pre-made. He just wrote Laura on it.
Right.
So this is what you look
Right.
like.
Dude, I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah. So that was pretty good. To close out this part, well, excuse me, the second to last one is Mancow, who is a local DJ in Chicago.
Okay.
And would have some, I believe, a couple appearances in WCW later on.
Yeah.
He calls in and he, for some reason, is pissed off at Jerry Lawler. I don't know what the connection is here, but he's already mad. He makes a joke saying, like, you know, if Lawler were to have a baseball team, they'd be called Lawler's Losers, which is like a 94 era joke, if I've ever heard one.
Wow.
And then proceeds to challenge Lawler to a ball game. And then McMahon notes that they are, in fact, having a charity softball game prior to SummerSlam that weekend. So this is all pretty much a tie-in to that, I guess. The last one, though, is Steve from New Jersey asking who will win the cage match between Brett and Owen. And, of course, Lawler is going to pick Owen. So kind of a weak question there. And then that wraps up the Sunday Night Slam, August 21st, 1994.
Oh man, I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go on the network and watch
The
that.
network has. I didn't realize that the one I sent you didn't have the final. A few more. That was the full show. I'm assuming aired. Is that it just ended on those ones? Maybe this one
mine,
unedited or something. I don't know.
Yeah, mine cut to black right after the John question there about who King would tag with.
Yeah.
So because that's some good shit that happens after that. So that's pretty funny.
Needless to say, though, compared to any of the other spectaculars or WrestleMania, whatever's, this was a pretty lackluster show.
Yeah.
Didn't really get me excited for anything about SummerSlam. I mean, sure, we had two good matches, I guess, the tag match and the women's match, but nothing with like your main angles that you're going with. With Ramon Diesel or Brett Owen, you get a weak promo from Brett. Even Lex and Tatanka, there wasn't I mean, there was a brief thing with Luger and DiBiase, but like Tatanka maybe making an appearance would have been good.
Lex Crush.
Yeah.
You said Lex Tatanka.
No, I'm saying, well, Lex Crush, but it would have been good if Tatanka made a.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
Okay.
But, you know, the whole Leslie Nielsen thing, those things really drive you nuts. So, overall, pretty disappointing. I guess they all can't be winners.
Yeah.
But SummerSlam, like I've said before, is arguably the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. So next week when we do a live watch, and I'm just going to point out right now, I've already discussed this with Sarah, and I don't know if she can hear me. Turns out she can't. She's looking down. The plan is that next week, Austin, and myself, and Sarah will be live watching SummerSlam 1994. So she's not going to be on a bonus episode. So she's going to be on the main edition.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal because we don't do that.
No.
So now it's official. You guys can't break up because then we have to delete the episode.
Right.
And I really don't want to have to do that.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. As far as me for this show, I would say it's kind of a dud. You know, there's nothing really to stand out at all. And I'll tell you what, if this was like the final ramp up hype for SummerSlam, they failed. They dropped the ball. They barely sustained the hype for me, really. And the only thing they seem to be putting money in as far as promotion is literally Undertaker versus fucking Undertaker. So, again, so sick of hearing about it. People are going to boo the shit out of that match just because they're sick of hearing about it. So,
I wouldn't be surprised if they completely turn on them.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was kind of bummed because, again, I think back to the marches to WrestleMania and the super shows leading into Royal Rumble 93 and like all these different shows that were pretty decent. And sometimes I would say March to WrestleMania 93 might have been better than WrestleMania 9.
I can see that.
It's definitely a letdown, but I'm hoping that unlike all the other times, this is a letdown, but the show itself surprises us.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm trying to stay optimistic. I think it's going to be very interesting with a 3-person booth next week.
Well, realistically, I'm not anticipating her vocalizing a lot of her opinion. She might just be off to the side and maybe speak up a few times or something, but
that's fine. She can be the Tenay. She can be the Tenay. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, she'll be the professor somehow.
Yeah. So we have that to look forward to. I am looking, and we've talked about this maybe as much as they've talked about Undertaker, but I am looking forward to the live format for the pay-per-views, so you can get those genuine reactions that you miss out on with us taking notes. So that'll be interesting. First live watch through for the main series. First guest on the main series next week, man, is shaping up to be quite the fucking show.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. I know Austin can't wait for it.
Should I watch my language next week?
No.
Okay.
She's pretty vulgar.
Okay, good.
Good. She didn't hear that either. I'll be fine. All right. Do you have anything else for this week, Austin? Or are we all set to get prepared for SummerSlam 1994? I can't believe we're there.
I think it's getting hot in here, so you take off all your clothes. It's the Summer Sizzler Tour. The SummerSlam is here. I'm ready for that fucking cage match.
Yeah.
So I'm already naked. I'm already sweating. And Yokozuna's dropping out of the sky into my kiddie pool. So we should probably just wrap it up before he lands at this point.
Yeah, that for all of our safety, I think that's the case. Yeah. For Austin Skinner, I'm Bob Conley Jr., and this has been IcoPod.
You gotta hear it.